Just imagine, you are not going to be a human being. The entire humanhood is elevated, transported, raised, sublimated to become divine. You think it's a worship offered to God. It is actually a process of divinizing, spiritualizing and celestializing yourself. Padayoho. Earth is considered to be the consort of Mahavishnu. Right from the morning till you go to bed, you are trampling upon the earth. If you have to trample upon the earth, you have to become Mahavishnu for the purpose. So Mahavishnu is placed in our feet. Hastayoho harastishtadu. In the hand we are installing Hara, Lord Shiva. Bahuoho indrahatishtadu. In the two hands let Indra take his residence. Jathare agnihi tishtadu. In our stomach let Agni abide. You know, we call Jatharagni, which is digesting our food. Sarveshu angeshu sarva devataha yathasthanam tishtantu mam rakshantu. In all the other parts, in all the different parts of my being, let all the gods and gods come and occupy their residence and let them protect me. What do you think of it now? Apparently you are ready to worship a deity. Before worshipping the deity, you yourself have become divine. What is worship then? Think about it. My dear souls, our Shastras are great. Our insight is wonderful, unparalleled. We are not an animal. We have the power of imagination. We have the power of thought. We have the power of understanding. Our mind can think in the same way as God thought in order to create this universe. God only did sankalpa. There was nothing else in this world. From his sankalpa arose all the Panchabhutas. Everything arose from there. Everything arose from there. Everything arose from there. Only by his sankalpa, not from any other process. The same sankalpa arises from our mind. So the mind part of our being is verily God. It is by our creative thoughts, creative imaginations, creative evolutions and formulations that we do everything and achieve everything in this world. Listen the truth. Deho devalayah prokto jivastu kevala shivaha. Deho devalayah prokto. This body, deha, is itself devalaya, the abode for a god. Proktaha, our body is described and said to be devalaya. It's an abode of divinity. Jivastu kevala shivaha. The jiva, the life, the power called life, the spirit in our body is no other than the same Lord Shiva. Kevala shivaha tyajet ajnana nirmalyam. Now from this devalaya, every day from the temple you remove the garland placed the previous day. That is called nirmalya. The next day you have to remove it. So from this temple also, tyajed, take away and abandon, ajnana nirmalyam. The nirmalya, the used garland called ajnana, ignorance, delusion. That is the one to be removed. Soham bhavena pujayet. And then you worship. What will you worship? If your own body is the abode of divinity and your life is itself Lord Shiva, what is the nature of worship that you will do? Soham bhavena pujayet. I am He, I am He. Soham, 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 Soham. Utter this and see what happens. My body is the abode of God, and the jiva, the life force in me, the life in me, the power of life, the spirit in me is no other than Lord Shiva. So true worship is the one whereby I remind myself that I am the Supreme Lord Shiva in the form of the Spirit, animating and activating my body. This is how you should think. Pujayet. For doing puja, this is the right mantra. See, we have got beautiful statements. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamule Saraswati, Karamadhye tu Govindaha, Prabhate Karavandanam. Early in the morning when you get up, the temple may be far distant from you. You are just getting up. If at all you go to the temple, it may be either in the evening or in the morning a few hours later. Don't wait for all that. Look at your own hand. You look at your own hand. This hand is shaped by God. It is not shaped by any of the Panchabhutas. It contains Panchabhutas. But the Panchabhutas are biologized by the power within itself. So the real God is within the body to give that biological aggregate status by virtue of which different activities are performed. By the hand we hold, by the leg we walk, by the mouth we take food, by the tongue we speak. We have got organs of evacuation, procreatory organ. All these are for different activities. With the eyes we see, with the ears we hear. So all these activities are taking place. This is possible only because God has shaped them to be so. Shaped them to be so. Be conscious of it. And look at your hand. Karagre vasate Lakshmi. In the tip of my hand, Lord Mahalakshmi is already residing. Karamule Saraswati. And in the Mula, the basic part of the palm, Saraswati is residing. Karamadhye tu Govindaha. In the central part, Govinda is dwelling. Prabhade Karavandanam. Early in the morning, either Karadarshanam, you see the hand, your own hand. That itself is Deva Darshana. This itself is seeing God. My dear souls, do you have the power of imagination to understand these concepts? Are we an uncivilized and barbarous society, or we are a super civilized nation? Think about it. Think about it. People only know worshipping a deity in a temple, and thousands and lakhs run there. There also they go to worship and as a worshipper. But here, the worshipper himself is a body. The real temple, body itself. Samudravasane Devi Parvadasthana Mandale Vishnupatni Namastubhyam Padasparsham Kshamaswame. Everybody is supposed to utter this kind of a hymn before going to bed, after getting upon the cot. What? Samudravasane Devi Parvadasthana Mandale. If you look at the whole earth, particularly India, you will find all the three sides are covered by sea. Samudravasane Devi. So in this verse, the earth is addressed as goddess, who is wearing the dress of the sea or the ocean. Parvadasthana Mandale. The different huge mountains are her chest and breast. Vishnu Padni Namastubhyam. You are the consort of Mahavishnu. Padasparsham Kshamaswame. I have been walking on you, trampling upon you. Maybe I have done it crudely, roughly, toughly. Maybe you have been hurt. Please excuse me for that. What do you think of this kind of a sublimation and divinization, my dear viewers? I would like to know. Samudravasane Devi Parvadasthana Mandale Vishnu Padni Namastubhyam Padasparsham Kshamaswame. I spoke to you about Achamana. In the Achamana, the first part is holding like this, putting water and then drinking it 3 times. Keshavaya Namaha, Narayanaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. These are the ones that are generally uttered. Then there are different type of mudras, placement I said. Protective placement of deities in the different parts of the body. So you take your thumb and then say Angushtha, Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha and Damodara. All the fingers are used to say Padmanabha and Damodara. So all the 5 fingers are used and we are covering the most important places of the whole face plus shoulders and the nabhi. This is how protective placement is had with the so-called Achamana. This Achamana is generally done while taking bath, after passing urine or even stool, and whenever there is a feeling that I have to purify my being or I have become impurified. You know, people who have the sacred thread, I am mentioning all these things to you so that you will know such acharas exist in our country and society. It is not just written in books. There are people who practice it even today. Thus, our body is always kept in a divine mood always. The divinity is generated and bestowed upon it by our own imagination and sankalpa. Now, these are some of the details I thought of mentioning to you because how this protective placement, sannyasa krita rakshaka, is the word used by Sreemad Bhagavatam, Avirhotra. Now, we go to the 50th verse. Archadau hridaye chapi yatha labdhopacharakaihi dravyakshitya atmalingyani nishpadya prokshya chasanam. Archadau hridaye chapi yatha labdhopacharakaihi. You know, the worship has to be done by all people, irrespective of whether they are educated or uneducated, rich or poor, resourceful or resourceless. The fact remains that in worshipping, you have to be as sincere as possible. Nobody is debarred from worshipping. Don't think that God can be worshipped only by an educated man. And you must have a lot of paraphernalia which will cost a lot of money to get or to muster. Cast away all such ideas. It's a very clear statement Srimad Bhagavatam makes. Archadau. The worship has to be done to the idol or other symbols. Hridaye chapi. It has also to be done to your heart and the deity dwelling here. Yatha labdhopacharakaihi. By materials which you are able to acquire and offer, depending upon your capacity and resourcefulness, your taste and interest. You can take simply a blade of grass and worship. A leaf can be used. You can also have lotus petals and other costly materials. If you are rich, get the best by paying maximum money from your pocket. If you are a poor man, take a simple leaf and spoonfuls of water. Spoonsful of water. Nothing more. So, the worship part is very important. It is not the level of worship, the kind of worship, or the ostentatious nature of the worship. It is the heartiness of worship that matters here. Dravya kshitya atmalingyani nishpadya prokshya chasanam. What does it mean? You have to muster various articles and you are going to sit on a place. We generally use a kind of a wooden plank. It will be about 1.5 to 2 inches high. And such a plank always helps and protects your spine when you sit. It's always good. The handle is on the left side so that you can remove it, keep it, take it away very comfortably. It's a traditional plank that we have. You have to anoint the deity and one's own heart with whatever things you have. Keep one of them, many of them. Everything has to be collected and done in a very nice manner. Prepare the ground and all the other things. by sprinkling water. Harihi, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat. This is how you sprinkle water. So the entire purity is built up from your own system, and the purification is done. The purification and its outcome all are springing from your own mind and heart. It doesn't come from outside. You have to generate purity and infuse it into the idol. You have to generate purity, instill it into the materials used. For everything, the source is within you, not outside. This is something very, very important. I would like you to understand it. So the entire worship is a process by virtue of which the worshipper himself tries to become purer and purer, more and more divine. And he uses the worship only as an occasion, as a persuasion, as a help for him. Padyadin upakalpyatha sannidhapya samahitaha hridadibhi kritanyaso मूलमंत्रेण चार्चयेत्. पाद्यादीन् उपकल्प्याथ सन्निधाप्य समाहितः. It is not that you have one deity, there may be many different parts of the body, deities also. What you have to do is keep padya. What is padya? Padya is the water meant for washing the feet. Generally a vessel is kept there and water is poured. Whenever we say padyam samarpayami, the water is poured there. Just like after taking meals we wash our feet. After doing something else we wash our feet. In the same manner, the deity also is given water to wash the feet. So padyadin upakalpyatha sannidhapya samahitaha. Then where you go and sit in a proper place, hridadibhi kritanyaso moolamantreణ charchayet, and then do the protective placement as prescribed in the different parts. Everything is set and done. You know, whenever you think of worshipping, the very thought of worship should give you delight and a sense of purity. When you look at the idol, the very sight of the idol should enhance the sense of purity and divinity in you. And so many different items are kept, collected. The very sight of the flowers, the different articles kept, everything should be clean, placed in an orderly manner, nice, in a sparkling manner. The vessel should be cleaned well, shining well. The very sight of all these things should instill in you a sense of joyful divinity. This is something very important. Very, very important. The puja room should be kept very nicely and very well, extremely well. Sangopangam saparshadam tam tam murtim swamantrataha padyarghya achamaniyadhyaihi snana vaso vibhushanaihi moolamantreణ charchayet. For every deity there is a moola mantra. After doing all these things, chanting the moola mantra, you have to do archana for the deity. Sanga upangam saparshadam tam murtim swamantrataha. Every deity has got a description. It may be a two-handed deity or a four-handed deity or even 10-handed, 12-handed like that. So depending upon the nature of the deity and the different items like weapons, shankha, chakra, gada, etc. kept in the hands, all of them, sangopangam, saparshadam, along with retinue also. Some deities have got followers, constant followers. All of them, tam murtim swamantrataha. There are special mantras associated with different deities. Use the respective mantras and use all of them. Padya, arghya, achamaniyadhyaihi, snana, vaso vibhushanaihi. See, our puja is something very, very important. All these are to be worshipped. And what will you use for worship? What is the means? Padya, arghya, achamaniya, adhyaihi. Padya, I already explained. Arghya means whatever is the material to be used by a person or a deity. Achamaniya adyehi. As I mentioned already, achamaniya in the same manner. Snana vaso vibhushanaihi, giving a bath and dressing up with a dress. Vibhushanaihi, putting on different types of ornaments. Gandhamalya akshadasradbhihi dhoopa deepopaharakaihi sangam sampujya vidhivad stavaihi stutva named harim. Gandha, malya, akshada, sradbhihi, dhoopa deepopaharakaihi. All these are items used in worship. Gandha, malya, akshada, unbroken, very clean raw rice. Sradbhihi, dhoopa deepopaharakaihi. There is dhoopa, deepa, upahara. All these are to be used there. Burning incense stick, lighting the lamp. In the lamp also we have got a panchamukha deepa and different tires, a single one also. Ultimately there is camphor. Sangam sampujya vidhivad stavaihi stutva named harim. After doing all these formalities of puja, stavaihi stutva, you start praising the deity with the respective hymns that you know. So we have for Devi Stuti many items. Similarly for other things also. Stavaihi stutva named harim. Ultimately Lord Hari has to be prostrated before by him. There are different items which you can use. Some of the items are very common but important. Sandal is one, garland, unbroken rice, and maybe ornaments also. In the ornaments you can have gold ornaments studded with very rare jewels and the like. The other day somebody came here, a devotee from Trivandrum. She and her husband along with somebody came here and they were wanting to offer a garland, so to say, to Lord Guruvayurappan. And it was a garland studded with diamond. Actually, Sri Krishna somewhere here he says ruby is something very important and he likes. But most people when they offer something, they want to offer the costliest. So she showed it to me, saying that this is the garland we are going to give. So the garland, any type of garland that you have, we have a temple here. In the temple on special occasions, they take special ornaments to be put on the deity. And when worshippers come, they say, we would like to have one or two garlands, then we will be able to look at and appreciate more. There will be greater devotion. So it generates devotion in them. And then scripturally prescribed means should be used with all scriptural prescriptions, praising the Lord and prostrating before Him. Now the whole puja is considered to be a 10-limbed puja or a 16-limbed puja. Dashopachara or Shodashopachara it is mentioned. The Dashopachara puja consists of Padya, Arghya, Achamaniya, Snaniya, Gantha, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya means offering, and Punarachamaniya. These are the 10. If it is Shodashopachara pujas, some items are added. Avahanam. You first of all invoke and bring the deity. Asanam. Give him a place to sit. Then offer Padya to wash the feet. And offer him Arghya. Maybe something to sip or take inside. Achamaniyam. After that, just like after the meals we will do Achamana, give an Achamana. Then bathe him Snaniyam. Then give him Upavita and Vastra, the sacred thread and a dress. Then Gandha, something very, very good smelling item. Pushpa means flower, Dhupa, incense or smoke, Deepa means lamp, Naivedya, something prepared in the form of a pudding to be offered to him, Tambulam, betel leaf, Supari, etc. Mantra Pushpa Japam. Then a Pushpa which is imagined and created by the mind. Then Pradakshina and Namaskara. Then go around the deity and finally do Namaskara. These are the 16-limbed puja Shodashopachara.